Welcome, Virgo. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I hope you enjoy the insights here in this general reading. This is for your sign for the month of June. I have shuffled and laid out the cards. I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac, so as the cards are appearing in each house, then those are the influences that are coming to bear at this time. So in your first house, we have South Node, which is life's debts. So this is a karmic card, actually. What it's connected to in the first house is everything to do with the self, your appearance, how you come across to others. So it's your personality, your characteristics, and physical body, and also it also represents your self-oriented interests. So with the South Node, life's debts coming in there, basically what it's saying is that you are required to make quite significant changes actually at this time. So this represents a turning point or a wake-up call. Basically, you need to shift yourself out of your comfort zone, cast off old habits, situations, people, places. Basically get out of any kind of rut that you're in. It's time to grow and develop. And this has to happen in ways that are aligned with you now. So we're always changing, we're always growing, and sometimes we take on certain aspects, whether it's an attitude or a belief, and it just, you outgrow it, you outlive it, it doesn't suit you anymore, it's not actually helping you. And this is what this is about. This is about actually helping yourself, because you need to actually activate your life path, your life purpose, get on course for whatever it is that you want to do, what you came here to do. And if you're stuck in a rut, or you're stuck in perceptions which don't actually serve you, then it's going to make you really, really uncomfortable, and you just won't grow, So it's about casting off, as I said, habits, situations, people, and places. Have you perhaps been overly critical of yourself in the past? Perhaps you've been introverted, or perhaps you overwork to make up for other aspects of your life. So you could also not be focused on your dreams, which is really what's important now with this. So what it's asking you to do is to actually align yourself with your highest vision of yourself, it really is really important, and it's going to affect every other area of your chart. It comes up again and again and again, and it's going to really activate a huge amount of parts in your life which are waiting to be changed, waiting to be activated, but it won't happen until you put these sort of aspects in place. So it's a lot of self-examination. What can I change? What just isn't working for me anymore? What are you tired of? Do you have that voice in your head which is constantly criticizing yourself for this or for that, or not feeling that you're good enough, or whatever it might be? It's time to change that now, because you're your own best friend. You are your brand, and you actually have to be the very best version of yourself in whatever way, shape, or form. And don't compare yourself with others. That's not going to help either. This card can also bring in endings and beginnings in some form as well. So now I'm leading on from that. Once you start activating a stronger persona, something that's more aligned with who you are, then you can start activating this as well, because this is your second house. This is everything to do with your money, your income. And it's also to do with your possessions, what you own, and very much aligned with your self-worth and your values. So if your self-worth is low, you're not going to attract what you require. So you've got to work on that, and this will give you a boost for sure. Part of fortune increase, this is about literally an increase of across the board, any one of those areas in your second house. So once you start aligning with who you are and showing the very best version of yourself, then possibly what will also happen is you will activate abilities and talents that have sort of been hidden under the surface, haven't really been acknowledged, or you just simply have ignored it because you've been afraid. So you'll start to find that things will rise up. things will come up from underneath, from being hidden, from being unacknowledged. They will get stirred into action, and then they will start to rise up. And from those, activating those abilities, those talents, or whatever you want to call it, that will then attract all kinds of things to you. It will attract income. It will attract money. It will attract a better version of what you're projecting to others. It will improve your self-worth and your values. And also your possessions will possibly improve as well if you want. There's certain things you want to own. If you're feeling a bit more confident and a bit more abundant, then it increases flow. And this will certainly activate it for you. You can expect flow, success, rewards. You may even have to study a little bit further to activate those talents and abilities which are now making themselves known. You can enjoy some popularity, and you will be able to move ahead with your plans and what it is you want to do. Then in the third house, again, following on from everything I've already discussed, your third house is everything to do with communication, verbal, written. It's also your body language, and it also covers documents and contracts of all kinds. So with Mars force coming in there, very powerful planet. It's an action planet. So this is about activating passionate expression. So it's about being direct. It's about being clear, not angry or not aggressive, but this is measured action, measured words, measured energy and purpose. It's also about activating your and going after your goals and desires in any one of those areas. So this is all about communication. When you can communicate adequately to others what it is you're trying to say and what you're trying to activate, then you can pull towards you what you require. And it's about being positive. It's about also having your say. So you may need to speak up and be very clear and direct about what it is, and you may need to be have a sort of a passionate exchange about certain things. This house also covers siblings, aunts, uncles, and cousins. So it's kind of family members, but it's also obviously the greater other people you're dealing with, the greater public, and so on. This card can also indicate possibly that you may have to defend yourself in some way, or you may have to confront somebody. You might have to compete for something or sort of fight for what you want. But as I said, it's measured action. Be very clear. Even if you have to write things down first before you speak, be prepared. Be prepared. It could also mean that you have an encounter with somebody who is quite aggressive or who is very forthright or very energetic, and this influences you greatly as well. So it could be that as well. Then in the fourth house, we have Grand Trine Blessings, a lovely card. This is bringing a very nice influence for you. Fourth house is everything to do with your home life, and also it's your ethnic identity, your sort of ancestral inheritance, your roots, your foundation. So with this coming in, if this is to do with your home life specifically, then this is bringing in harmony, balance, flow. It's also, it may have a financial aspect as well. So something could come into it like a boost or some sort of gift, or money is going to flow to you in order to do certain things in your home, or to change your home life, or to change your lifestyle. But it's also about following the path of least resistance. So go with the flow with the current, see how things are moving. You still have to keep your hand on the wheel though and steer things. Keep your goals in mind. Don't become complacent because you're feeling happy and content and sort of, oh, well, we'll do it next week or next month or whatever. You still have to activate. You still have to work towards what you want. But this is going to give you a lift and sort of push you in the direction that you need to go. It's also about luck. It's about opportunities coming to you. So maybe you will receive some sort of financial benefit towards what you want in your home, or just some kind of blessing coming to you. It also it could, as I said, be an opportunity of some sort coming up. And then once you recognize it, activate it, go for it, and follow it, and see where it leads you. Then in the 5th house, we have Scorpio, I transform. So this is a very powerful card. Obviously, it's everything to do with transformation. So there are two sides to this. The 5th house really is everything to do with children. So children, your own children or children that you're involved with. It's also the house of creativity. So this is all aspects of creativity. It could be your creativity that you're seeing in your children, or your relationship with them, or your own particular brand of creativity as well. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, so this is also, the 5th house is also about creativity in all forms. So this can be your relationship with your children, or you could be seeing creativity in them, or it could be your actual creativity yourself, which is not necessarily artistic. It can be in any form. You can be creative in the way you decorate your home. You can be creative in managing your time. You can be sort of creative with how you speak and how you tackle various types of projects and so on. So creativity comes in many forms. The 5th house also deals with love affairs, and it also deals with all forms of recreation and like sports clubs and different types of activities, all kinds of whatever gives you pleasure and whatever you enjoy. Yeah, so the 5th house covers all of that. With Scorpio, I transform. As I say, it's quite a powerful card. It is about transformation. So this could be coming in on any one of those areas for you. So that can actually be, if for instance, if you've got your relationship with your children, it's about either transforming that, or you may be asked to transform that, or they may be going through that and you are seeing that in them. Perhaps they've got various types of projects on the go, or they're completing their schooling, or whatever is going on. You're going to be experiencing some sort of transformation yourself, or you're going to see it in your children. What it does is this brings on a sort of a deep self-analysis. So you may be going through that, or you're seeing it in your children. It's also about transformation of relationships and the desires that each of you have in your relationships. And I'm talking specifically with children or with your love partner. It's also about bringing in the ability to take a situation and turn it around so that it works for everybody. But it's a very intense card. It's a very powerful card. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's also about gaining wisdom, because it's deep understanding, it's deep analysis of various issues, it's deep analysis of a situation as well, and really getting down to the nitty gritty and understanding deeper motivations of things. So it could also be, as I said, in connection with a love affair or a new love partner that's coming in, and it will be very passionate because it's Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto, so very passionate, very sexual encounter, or it could just be your deep desires when it comes to sports that you're involved in, or the recreation facilities that you sort of are enjoying, or whether it's a hobby or some kind of interest, but it's something that you're pursuing with deep passion. But you may also be seeing machinations going on amongst other people that you're moving in, groups that or people that you're encountering during the course of your children's day, or yourself, or it could even be through your love partner, or it could even be, as I said, through some creative pursuit. Also, something with this is it's about examining your control issues, or you may and your programming, what programming you have had in your life up until now. Where can you transform that to make it of a much better, higher version of yourself? Or how can you help your children to transform that? Because they do, in this current schooling systems, in a lot of ways, they do go through a lot of programming. So it's about you're seeing this in some way, shape or form. It could be how you're relating to your children, or you're seeing it in them. But it's about examining your own control issues and also theirs, but it's also about the programming. You may see this in various institutes, your relationships or with other people that you're involved with in any one of those areas of your life. It's also about avoiding any kind of maneuvering or manipulation. Because that comes in very strongly with this, that is a shadow aspect of Scorpio. It could also be that something that was hidden or was not seen before, wasn't noticed, is now coming out. It will come up from underground. It's been buried or something has been sort of just not seen. It's now going to come up because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto rules the underground, and whatever is hidden will come to light. So it could be some deeper, as I said, deeper motivations or deeper machinations that are going on, and you're seeing this now. It could also be jealousy. It could also just be even some sort of secret or something that, as I said, some undisclosed detail. And this could come up in your love affair. It could come up with your children. It could come up in sort of some recreational activity. Maybe you're doing that with others and you're seeing this in them. Or it could be your own deeper drives that are now coming out. As I said, this fifth house also rules sports as well. So it's also a very charismatic sign. So you could be getting involved with somebody who has got all these scorpionic qualities. So very passionate, very charismatic, very deep. They don't give a lot of details away. They can be quite secretive as well. Also quite wise. It depends what type of Scorpio you're dealing with, or scorpionic influence. This card can also bring a blessing in disguise. So do you understand what I'm saying? It's something that's disguised or hidden. Suddenly you see it for what it is really, and it turns out to be a blessing. So yeah, it's quite a detailed, very deep influence to be having in that house. So just see how that pans out for you. But I do feel also it's to do with, again, linked to this first house card that we had, which was which is letting go of old issues and things and people and situations in your life. It may be coming out in your fifth house. It may be showing itself in there as well. And whatever you're putting into place there is going to spill over into this house as well. Then in your sixth house, this is the house of work, your workplace, your work colleagues. It's also your projects that you're working on. It's also your mastery of whatever is your craft, whatever is your speciality. It's mastering that. And it's also your health and your diet, and it's also the house of pets. So now with this card, this is Saturn. It's truth. So it's very much indicated in the work house. And also in your health, because Saturn is another very strong influence coming in for you. It really depends on where you're at in your development and your maturity, and your time management and so on. Because if you're really working with Saturn, you will have very good control measures in place. You will have good, strong foundation, and so on. But if you haven't got that, if you haven't developed more mature approaches to how you work, what you're working at, and having a sort of a wise approach, then Saturn is going to basically come in and teach you a bit of a lesson, because it's about what you will sow, what you reap. What you sow, you will reap. So what you plant now and what you build now is going to give you a very good foundation, and you'll get the rewards later for that. So what you need to do is also assess your needs and your wants. What do you need as opposed to what you want? Because your needs are going to be more important than your wants with this card. And it's also about being realistic and being practical and methodical. You're going to have to bring in all those Saturn aspects to actually really get to grips with the work that you have on hand and so on. It's also about not giving up, because things will be difficult. You will feel a bit restricted, and things will be a little bit tough, actually. You're going to be really slogging. And so Saturn is all about putting pressure on in order to ensure that you build properly, that you are going to have a solid achievement. You cannot have a solid achievement if you're doing things quickly and carelessly, or building a really wobbly foundation for whatever it is that you're undertaking. You cannot do that when Saturn is in the house. So it's also about following the rules, working within the rules. It could also be bringing in some sort of authority figure, or like a sage or a teacher or a mentor. Somebody like that could be coming in and basically assisting you with what you're doing, or they could be a bit of a taskmaster. But when that comes in for you, you've got to learn to work with it, because later on in life, or some years from now, when you look back, you will realize that you learned an incredible amount during that period. It may have been tough, it may have been very restrictive, you may have had a lot of rules to follow, and it may have been quite a trying period. But it's a growth period, and when you apply yourself, the growth will be magnificent later on. So it's also about lessons, mastering lessons, as I said. And just be solid and practical with what you're doing, and be realistic about what you can achieve as well at this time. This is a very slow moving energy as well. When it comes to the health and the diet, you may, what you will need to do is actually look after your bones, your skeletal structure, and your teeth, your tendons and your ligaments as well, because Saturn rules all of that in the body. So you may find you have dental issues, or you may just be feeling like especially if you're going to be doing various types of activities, or overworking, then sometimes these things start to come out. And if you're busy with a physical activity, tendons and ligaments and so on could get strained, and various other options. So, but if you know you have a tooth issue or teeth issues that you need to address, do it, because otherwise it could be really quite difficult later on. So yeah, just be aware of that. Then in the 7th house, this follows on again from the 1st house. How you are in yourself and how you're projecting to others is directly going to affect your close personal relationships. So this the 7th house deals with all close personal relationships, one-on-one relationships. So that can be your love partner, or it can be a business partner, and other close personal relationships if you're not in a love relationship. So this is going to be, as I said, directly affected by how you are, what changes you're making to yourself, your outward self, and what you're projecting to others, how you're interacting with others. Okay, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you have a great month, and I will see you next time.